Hey everybody, welcome back to Model Car Madness. I finished the Anglia and I did unbox, get some stuff out for another project. Got the Corvette box out and I had a couple different bodies in here. Just realized I got the wrong grill. I'm using the split window. I never remember to film when I'm working, but I already did do my first modification because I started mocking it up, just putting the interior tub up top of the front inner fender wells. There was about, I'd say about 1/8 of an inch or 3/16 of an inch lump up top there, and that set the frame away, so it sat up kind of high, so I ground that away because this thing's going to be low. It's going to be a modified eliminator. I'm going to try to do like the Oric and Zach green split window. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do print the decals or not, but I'm going to give it a try. And if not, it's going to be green. It's going to look kind of like that. It's going to be a small block with a tunnel ram and a stick shift. Snorkel scoop. It's Krager Super Trick wheels. Basically going to look like a 1970s modified eliminator car, which is what it's going to be. This kit has had like 2 different bodies in it, parts from a bunch of different kits. I condensed everything when I moved because I didn't want to have like 50 boxes on the ship when I could end up with 25 boxes. So what I did is I packed things together, and the one body I have, you can see it was an eBay purchase. It was a build up, and I stripped the paint off. This one's a 67. This one eventually is going to did one of these like this when I was, probably 20 years ago now. I took this Pontiac Trans Am nose from a Ricky Smith Pro stock car, and I had it grafted onto a Corvette, and it really came out neat. So I'm going to try to do it again, although I don't have the side pieces. I'm going to have to make something, unless I have another kit here that I can rob from, but we'll see when we get to that. I think I might have one picture of the car that I did that I could use for reference. It was the first car I ever took to a model show. I took to NNLE's first time I ever took a car, and it ended up getting a picture in the magazine. It was like a purplish color, but it had flame decals across the front and urethane clear. I think the color really just caught the magazine guy's eyes, but it wasn't a perfect build, but it was kind of neat because of the color. And it was on a Pro Mod chassis, kind of like what I'm doing here with the Sox and Martin. And as you can see, I got the cage painted and attached to the floor pan. Yesterday I found a little bit of a warp in the body, so I'm getting off the subject of the Corvette, but anyway, yesterday I found that this body was a little bit warped, so I heated it up in some water and I just twisted a little bit, and it's pretty good now. But anyway, I get off topic here. My brain goes 100 miles an hour and I can't get stopped. Anyway, let me put this away. And I'm trying to do I was going to try to do some actual building on camera, and I'm still going to try, but probably just right now, not right now. I'll have to edit things and put it in later. But I do want to trim a little bit of the flash off of here. I think this is the hood I'm going to use. I have a hood that had an opening in it already. It was basically just a flat hood, where this one's the actual split window hood with the little grills. I gotta look at the real car. I think it may have just had a flat hood though. And I have a NASCAR small block stick shift here, but it's a single 4-barrel, so I can go into my stash. And I have the 66 Nova. I have about 3 of these 66 Nova engines with the tunnel ram. So the car's going to have a tunnel ram, so I'm probably going to end up using this engine. And I got to find some wheels. There's Center lines on Craigers. Hoping I have enough Craigers. I've got a lot of wheels. You never have what you need. Doesn't seem to matter how many you have. And I actually was just able to get a Slicks order. I asked them if they'd send to Thailand, and they did. They actually said okay. It wasn't too outrageous on shipping charge. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but considering how far it had to go, I'm not complaining. And I got it relatively quick. Oh, there's a set of Super Tricks. Yep, set of resin Super Tricks. And here's the tire package that was in this box of the Corvette stuff. I'm thinking this stuff might all work out too. I don't lose everything. Looks like there's more tires that I'm going to need. 2 axles. And this kit did use metal axles. Here we got four kind of skinny tires. So I'll use 2 of them on the front, unless I decide to go with more of a Moroso front runner. Like that, which is a little narrower. I have some of those. But the slicks, these are slicks that I usually like to use. The wheel's a little sloppy in there, so I'm gonna have to add to it. But we're gonna do some plastic chopping here. And we're going to tub this to get these tires in, because they got to be, they got to be underneath. You can't have them hanging out. So we're going to have to do a little bit of planning on this. I got to get rid of all this exhaust. Let me just see if I can grind that off. Let's take the body out of it. See, I'm going to do a little bit of building on the video. This tool makes short work of a lot of plastic. Can't get real detailed with it, but yeah, I got to finish up with the X-Acto knife and a file or sanding stick. But that knocks the heavy stuff off quick. And this kit's made of the softer plastic, it looks like. You might get to witness me slice my hand open if I ain't careful. And remember, always cut away from yourself, never towards yourself. Try not to keep these videos too long. That's one reason why I don't do much building on the videos, because people kind of lose attention span after about 15 minutes. I know I do. But sometimes, if it's interesting subject matter, I guess I can pay attention. And probably a lot of people are the same way. So anyway, that's the start of that. Well, I did say the Anglia is finished, and I guess I ought to show it, because I'm sure inquiring minds want to know. So let me go get it. Okay, and there it is. I had it in display case out on the shelf. That's why I had to put the camera down and go get it off the shelf and put it on the table. So I'm pretty pleased with it, especially as a shelf model or a curbside or whatever you want to call it. I mean, the overall visual look to me is good. I'm not quite happy with the front end fit. but considering I cut it off and pinned it, I'm gonna have to live with it, I guess. But I made the front spoiler. This is kind of the way my real car was back in the 80s. Spoiler wise anyway, it didn't look this good. And I went with the flashback decals from Slicks. I like those torque thrust 5-spoke wheels. And just a few little decals, not much. The shaft are off on the front end. This just came from a random Slick sheet, the Chevrolet dealership. And I like the red windows, and the chrome door handles just kind of add a neat little touch, I think. And the metal injector tubes. I'll take the front end off so you can see that. Come on. It's hard to do one-handed. I gotta set the camera down. Okay, there it is without the front end. Again, this is not my best work. It looks great on the shelf, but detail-wise, it's not really my best. I did a lot of scratch building, and this stuff is, I mean, I got to work on it. I could learn a lot from some of the people I see who are really good scratch builders, and I'm getting better. But the little stuff, my fingers are kind of tough when it comes to this little stuff, holding it. But the paint, I really like the paint color, and I like the orange that I added to it. Really didn't pop until I put that urethane clear on it. It's sitting on the bench without clear, and I was thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure I'm going to like this. But once the clear went on, yep, I liked it. And the wheelie bars, they were just kind of extra parts, the bottoms from my parts box, and I made the tops out of some styrene and made the little axle in between out of some styrene. So let's go put this back on the shelf. And it's home. It's back on now. I even drilled the holes a little bit extra big, thinking I could get the front end to fall into place easier. And if I wasn't trying to do it on camera, it would be easier. And for anybody who might have missed the earlier videos, here's my shelf with all my finished stuff. Someday when I build everything I'm on my list, I'm going to go over that Rambler and take the body off, strip it, put some fancy paint on it, and maybe a little more detailing. But that's down the line when I get the rest of my projects done. And like I said before, I have about 40 of them on my list. So I'm picking away a little bit at a time. Did some more work on the hood for this Comet. I had to extend it really because when I cut through here, it took too much material away, and it's just about fits now. I got to do a little bit more trimming and put some supports underneath to hold it. And the motor, I am getting pretty far on the motor. I got the valve covers drilled for wires. I just got to put a distributor in it, wire it, and pretty much it's going to be ready to go in the car after that, because I never put the carburetors on until the end. I always like to make sure I can get the scoop to get the carburetors to actually go into the scoop. It seems like if I don't do that first, I'll put the carburetors on, then I go and put the hood on, and it don't fit. So I kind of have my own way of timeline for doing that stuff. Even though this Comet looks like it's coming along good, which it is, it's still a long way from finished. There's a lot of body work to do, a lot more test fit and scratch build and stuff. But we'll see how that goes by the next video. It should be coming along pretty good. And hopefully the Corvette, I'll try to do a little bit of build videos on this Corvette maybe. And well, that's about it. So hope everybody's enjoying this channel. I know I like looking at model car channels, even if the quality's as bad as mine. I still like to see what other people are doing. I mean the quality of filming anyway. Alright, so hopefully everybody's going to click like and subscribe. I only have 2 subscribers. I don't know what's going on. I guess people aren't finding this yet. So hopefully I get some more subscribers. But if I don't, I like doing it even for myself and for the 1 or 2 people that might watch. I know I got more people watching, but only 2 subscribers. And don't cost you anything to subscribe, so just click on it and it might help me out someday. You click the bell, you get the notifications of when I got something new coming up. And it'll be a benefit to both of us, or all of us. So I'm going to end it with it, and hope to see you next time.